So this pen is my most recent purchase. Came on from eBay today. Some teeth marks and some scratches and dings, but I'm younger than this thing, and I've got teeth marks and scratches and dings too. So look at how well this writes. It is so uh, fine and delicate. So I'm hardly fine and delicate. I'm coarse and kind of crude and have teeth marks and dings, pieces falling off. This is really a sweet, sweet, sweet pen. Why do I like these things so much? Well, look under my love affair with Taporites and figure it out. Or do I have to tell you again? Um, they have just enough flex to make you smile and not enough to completely distract you into making page after page of swooshy swirls. This is not the nib that, where's the pen that, there it is. Am I ready for the weekend? Well, I brought down the Victrola and the flags. I have to put the flags up in the morning. And the Victrola, I get to wheel out at 4 o'clock. I don't think I'll wheel it out previous to that. And I don't know what I'm going to wear. I'm going to tart up my little cart. Here's my little cart. Let's use a bigger pen for this description. I have a rolling cart that has 3 shelves, a top and 2 lower shelves and casters. And I've draped the top with dark blue and gold felts that said Kiwanis Club and Rotary Club, and they all have little moth holes in them, so they're just perfect for my needs. So in the things down here, I'll have the prizes that we'll be giving out under the curtain, behind the curtain, and I'll have the records we're playing. And then up here, right here in the corner, will be the Victrola. That's the big horn. And it will be playing Paul Whiteman and other such things. I think we might do a name that tune game as well, where we'll give out prizes for people that know that tune. And so I have to, as I see a song that I think people might know, I'll hold it aside so that we can use it, because most of these songs are music is from 1920, and not that many people know the 1920 songs. But there's a classical thing. There's Song of India. There's the Leonora Overture, and so I may, on some of those, say you don't have to. You can, if you know the title, that's fine. But I'm accepting the composer. So if they don't know that it's the Leonora Overture, they might know that it's Beethoven. If they don't know Song of India, they might know that it's Rimsky-Korsakov. Or whatever. But I think what I'm also going to do, I've got an upside down tripod. Well, I'm going to turn it upside down and attach it to here, and then I'm going to have my pearls and things to just sort of, you know, make it fancy, maybe a flag coming out of the things, just make it a little bit more festive. And then I'll be over here with my pith helmet and frou-frou, my V-shaped torso, a sash and braid and epaulets, and I tend to be the master of ceremonies for these things, because I am the guy with the Victrola. That's all there is to it. And we have a prime minister who actually started this whole thing. She'll be there. She now is in a wheelchair, and her actions are somewhat erratic. She tries to grab something, she'll push her hand too forward and she'll overshoot it and stuff. So she's she won't be participating as much as she might want to, but she is the person that sort of started this thing. So she has a sash that says Prime Minister, the power behind the throne. And we will have an old queen, or the present queen, and then a bunch of old queens. We've got 25 queens that have been queen already, including me. And then anyway, it'll be fun. We'll have a potluck and prizes, and we're going to sing the anthem to the new queen, which was just written just a few short days ago by a musician in the building. And it's to the tune of God Save the Queen, except it will have our words to it. And so that's the plan. So am I ready yet to answer your question? I'm getting there. I am slowly getting to the readiness thing. Slowly becoming ready. I may live stream a little bit, maybe from my phone, because I won't have Wi-Fi down there as easily. So I may just show it and describe what's happening. Maybe live stream the coronation of the Queen, if I'm able to do that. That'll happen maybe at 6:30 tomorrow. I don't know. It's supposed to be quite hot tomorrow here, so we may end up having our barbecue part of it inside the building rather than outside in the sun. So there's a number of unknowns. And they're unknown unknowns. They're not the known unknowns. The things we know we don't know. These are things we don't know we don't know. To quote our dear late Department of Defense man, Rumsfeld. What are you doing this weekend, Mr. Scott? On Sunday, I'm going to go to the Boston Public Library, as I had already mentioned, and do some drawing, I hope. Maybe some more dead white guys. I think I want to put this in this pen. Do you think I can do that? Do you think that's going to work? Let's see if it works. This just seems to fit this mood of this pen, but this, nope, it's not going to fit. The ones that are in these half size are really curved, but I think I want this in a pen that I'll use rather than this one that has a price sticker on it, which I probably won't use. Are you an old folk? Or are you going to an old folks community? Or are you in fact a senior citizen? Go in here. This is kind of a nice nib already. I don't want to put it in here. Wow, that's a nice nib. You're older than dirt. Are you older than I am? I'm 65.89. Maybe 60. No, I'm 65 point whatever the fraction of 11/12 is. Almost 66. I'm going to put it in here. Okay, get ready for a switcheroo here. This is going in this thing. Good. 73. That is older than dirt. But are you stronger than dirt? Ajax laundry detergent, stronger than dirt. Some of the nibs seemed nicer in the other pen than it does in this one. The nib just fell in the ink jar, just fell right out of the pen into the dirty water. How the hell did that happen? dirt one a long time ago, huh? Okay, I'm not going to put that in this pen. I'm going to put it back in the pen that it was in. Take this one out, put it back where it was. Is this a 4? Is that what? It's, where's my loop? No, well, it says 12. It doesn't mean that it's not a. I wonder if it really wants a 4 nib in here. I think a 4 is going to be too big. Yeah, that's going to be too big. So it needs sort of a longer tined. I don't know what it needs. That's what it has, though. Just leave it like that. Okay, here we go. I think the feed is a little. The feed could be heated and pushed up a little bit, so it makes contact. It's I don't know. Whatever. Lovely. Put it in the drawer. Deal with it later. So what happens in what do you like to do that your community does? I think of retirement things as bingo and movie night, and once a month they do ballroom dancing or something, but I'm sure they don't. That's just my Hollywood interpretation of what I imagine it will be. What actually happens. I'm going to fill this up with blue ink. I'm going to bring this with me, and I'm going to bring this with me. 2 new pens, newly fixed anyway. Blue ink. And do I want to bring this one with me too? This has a lot. Oop, shit. Why did that just happen? Shit, fuck. This is going to be the pen that has the big broad line that I can put down a gallon of ink. An Intravoit. Look at me, you can't take me anywhere. The reason it did that, should I tell you the reason it did that? The reason I think it did that, I should just double check. I think it's because the air, and this goes all the way down, the air pressure is pushing against the sac, and come on. God. This is just awful. Nathan, there should be a hole in the back of this pen so that it equalizes the pressure. But this will be the pen that I'll do most of my dark filling in with, because I'll be able to go back with this and dissolve the ink. So these 3 pens, God, look at this mess. And maybe I have another one I'll bring. So what is it that they do there at your facility? Or do you just sit back and say, back in the olden days, kids these days? Bingo cards, crafts, monthly. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't read that far. Well, the group that developed this building, many of whom still live here, are old now. We're 60, 65, 70, 80, 85 years old. So, and we do things like sometimes there are game nights and film nights and stuff like that, but not so. It doesn't feel like yet quite like it's a old folks home. Well, I suppose I should be part of that group and complain about my frickin' problems with Medicare, but I'm not going to. I think what I will do, though, I think I'm going to go and sit on my couch, wash my hands of all of this ink, and I have some Trash Queen portraits that I'm hoping to do tomorrow. I may do 3. I may do a selfie, and I may do 2 others once I hang the flags. I may sit down and do them. One of the things I'm doing with these Trash Queen portraits, there's no 2 frames that are alike. All of the frames are different. Some are oval, some are square, some are glass, some are wood. And the present queen is going to have this sort of Baroque looking frame that's shaped like that. And he has a goatee sort of thing. So the goatee will be in the goatee shaped part of the frame, I think. And I think he has silver or gray hair, which I will use silver pencil with. And I think I'm going to do it on black paper. He's Cuban, once upon a time. Not that that means anything. Oh, I'm not leaving. Oh, I'm not leaving quite yet. I'm just thinking about what I need to do tomorrow. I got 2 warnings today from YouTube saying they made 2 of my videos private. And they were videos that lasted maybe a minute long. So maybe that was the algorithm that I think is spam or something. I really don't know. But I was having problems with my microphone. So the ones they took off were the 2 short ones I did this morning, because it went against their community standards. Well, all they have to do is actually watch with a human any of my videos, and it'll go against their standards, I bet. I like this pen. I do. I'm sure there's pen collectors that'll say I paid way too much for it. But I guess I really like the nib I put in it. The nib did not come with this pen, so I've improved, in my mind, I've improved the pen a lot by this kind of a nib. They went live. They were live, but I was trying to test whether this iPad I'm using now was crackly with the microphone. And that was a test. I was also testing whether the earbuds I'm using, the ones that are actually connected to the device, not wireless ones, were making it better or worse. So they were live. I also know that when I take a movie with my iPad that was crackly, the thing is fine. So I think the crackliness is a StreamYardian thing rather than, or a buffering thing or something. So again, I'm not positive what the cause is, and I'm not smart enough to figure it out by myself. Someone like Mitch or Parker would maybe know what was wrong, but they don't visit me anymore for some reason. No, because it could be for any number of reasons. They just said it goes against the standards, and sometimes the standards are spam, and sometimes they're uh, directing you to another website directly where you, I guess that's not necessarily spam, but it's deceptive in some way. So that's the only thing I can think of. Because I looked at them and there was, I didn't even swear. So, and I sent them an email or a saying, why were these things taken down? And haven't heard back. Anyway, tomorrow I'm going to have, tomorrow I'll have fun and Sunday I'll have fun, I think. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's up with him. I've sent him emails. He hasn't responded. I've sent him texts. He hasn't responded. And I hope I didn't offend him in any way. I sent an email to Canada, who he talks with. So again, I don't know what might be just that my lack of broadcasting for a long while, maybe they just, Pierzon again. Did I really miss him? No. I'll do something else. That's what they could be saying as well. Tina? Yeah? I know, I can hear you. Tina? Yeah? I could still hear you. My cat is demanding. Tina? 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 Okay, where were my pens? That one, and this one, right? Sometimes they're not very entertaining. Sometimes when I have technical issues or I try to find something and can't find it and forget that I'm broadcasting, 3 hours later I come back and say, oh shit. So no, I don't know I'm sure I just hope he's okay. He's not, in the hospital or something. This pen, this one is a Noodler's pen that I put a big Parker dual fold nib into, so I just wanted to see what it was like. I had to put a sack on it rather than the piston because the piston doesn't work. Nathan said, "You have to go to a hardware store and buy an O-ring." And I said, "No, that is not what I'm going to do. Pay an extra 3 cents to have the people in India that make these pens for you use an O-ring that is not shitty and have them test it out." I'm sure that's all it would need is 5 extra pennies. Is it an Apanza? I don't know what they're. It's a big one, but I don't know what it's called. I only have 3 Nathan Tardif Noodler's pens, and each one of them I took out the steel nib that they came with and put in a nib that I like better. One is a aerometric fill something or other, slip cap. And then there's this one, which I put a sack on. So yeah, I squeeze the sack to fill it. And then the last one is one of the American Boston safety pens. Oh, well, that's great. I'm glad, I know that the fracas over his Bernanke red ink was causing some trauma, but I'm hoping that that has subsided. I'm sure some people will be more than happy to not buy anything from him and just stand their ground, and I'm sure Nathan won't miss them. Nathan putting devil horns on any person in government is part of his belief system. I think that government is bad. I don't know if he was making an anti-Semitic commentary in that. He very well could have, or he could have just meant it that this particular Federal Reserve chair was particularly evil. I know that he does blame Dukakis, governor of Massachusetts, for his parents' loss of their beekeeping industry, or the decline in sales or whatever it was. And but while their industry was failing, Nathan's industry was growing, and Nathan was in the same state with the same governor. So what might have been the problem was not because of Dukakis, but because of the bees or popularity of honey or some other factor. Well, I don't think so. Nathan doesn't need it. Maybe Goulet Pens did. But it could have been. Who knows? Okay, I will say goodbye now. So see you later. I'm gonna try to get some of this ink off my hands. And we'll catch you later, folks. Bye-bye.